Releasing Trauma is sponsored by the Global Association for Trauma Recovery. The Global Association for Trauma Recovery is a social impact organization serving as a resource for survivors and their families, dedicated to facilitating change by spreading trauma-related awareness and thus creating a more trauma-informed world. Learn more at gaftr.org. Welcome to Releasing Trauma, a Survivor's Podcast. I am your host, Tracy Osborne. I am a survivor of emotional bullying, rape, sexual assault, domestic abuse, and grief. After losing my husband in 2019, I set off on a new adventure to help other women release their trauma and create a life they can cherish. Each week, I will feature a guest expert or a survivor to share their stories, tips, wisdom, and more. The goal is so that you can take away even just the smallest nugget of information you can use in your life right now to make a change, and to remind you that you're not alone. There is life after trauma, and you can move from victim to thriver and create a life you can cherish. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Tracy Osborne. With me today is Radka Gimerova, and we're going to be talking about how to create authentic confidence. So Radka, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Tracy. It's absolutely my honor to be here and with your audience today, and excited to really talk a little bit more about the authentic confidence.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you. I always have the show start out with the guests telling us a little bit about themselves. So let's have you tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah. Okay. So my little story, just make a long story short. So I'm actually coming from a corporate world, and I was pretty successful in climbing the corporate ladder, and I was working in the HR field and becoming an HR lead and a business partner quite soon. And, it was just amazing for me because it was kind of my dream come true. And I felt that I am here to really take care of people and, always make sure that the right person is on the right position in the right time, because I just believe that that's how it's important to create the life of our dreams, because career is one of the things that makes us also happy and fulfilled. But along this journey, I really forgot to take care of myself, and I really started to play very small and started to hide myself and just kind of surrendered under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and a lot of tasks and everything, until I really hit the burnout. And it was really connected with a lot of serious health issues, physical health issues, and at that time also I was lucky enough to give birth to my first child, but then it was still so difficult to take care of her, and I was really trying to overcome these health issues, and still there was something in me like, okay, well, that's not a big deal, that's just me, something, this kind of a little voice. But then in the really darkest moments when I was not able to stand up and take care of her, I really needed to make the choice from the deeper place. And that's the moment where I realized that I have to take first the full responsibility for my own well-being and to take back the power of my own choice for my own life, because only then everything else matters. So I really stood up from the deeper wisdom, and as of then, I started my own transformational process. And it was also through a lot of alternative journeys with holistic approach to heal myself on the physical level, but also to really connect deeply to my emotional and feelings and body and everything. So this is what I'm now really passionate about, to pass on other women to really get towards this deeper place, towards the authentic confidence in general in their life, to be able to stand up for themselves and really be fully responsible for their own decisions that leads to their well-being in general. So that's
well, thank you so much for sharing that. That's quite a story. I completely understand the burnout. I've hit that wall many times. You think I would learn, but as trauma survivors, one of the things that we definitely don't do is take care of ourselves. Depending on the type of trauma, a lot of times we don't feel we deserve to be taken care of. We don't deserve to be confident, or, we've been abused enough and put down enough that we just don't believe that we have the right to have confidence and strength within ourselves. So, what was kind of the turning point? You mentioned that you started to play small, and how did you change that and start to play big again?
Yeah, well, that's nice wording, starting to play big again. In general, it's wonderful, as you have mentioned, that really many times we feel that we don't matter that much, that we don't need to take care of ourselves that much. But I really see it in a way that every woman, every, let's say, little person who sparks up is able to actually pass on this nice energy and vibration to others and really spark up the world. So I believe that no one is small to actually take care of herself or himself. And regarding this playing big, for me, it's really something where you firstly allow yourself to create space, that you fully understand who you are, fully understand your strengths, and really create space to kind of stack upon the skills that you already gained and really evaluate the experiences. Because many times under the pressure and the fast world and fast everyday life that we are living, we really forget kind of to, let's say, celebrate and really give enough weight to all the experiences and all the strengths and skills that we already have within. And just trying to follow the rules and just trying to follow the structures. So if we are able to really make a shift to get more into understanding our own strengths and skills and being able to accept them, that is the way how we can actually answer to whatever challenge and whatever situation in a big way, meaning in a way with the confidence that is supporting ourselves. There is the possibility to really speak up for yourself and don't play small, let's say in the middle of the meeting, that, oh, okay, I do have an opinion, maybe it's different. Well, I'll rather just, stay quiet. I'll figure it out later. Something like that. So if you are absolutely centered into who you are, it's much easier then to just speak up, because you feel confident that, yes, this is me. I can stand up straight. Right?
Right. Absolutely. And, standing up straight, having that backbone, helps to, it creates our confidence. It's where, a lot of our confidence comes from, but it also, when we have that strength to stand up and speak out, it definitely shifts our mindset from, I don't deserve to, I am powerful, I can do this, I deserve this, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just wanted to add that really, and in these terms, the mindset is really key, because we need to really show up in a way that we, as who we really want to be, and not just from the place of fear, let's say, because many times fears is playing the role in not showing up for yourself and not taking care of yourself, because we are afraid of, disappoint someone around. This is many times the case for women, right? And that is why they don't confidently show up. And it's just about these choices in everyday life that then we still feel smaller and smaller, right?
Right. So what about the people listening who they've been abused, and they've just been, it's been beaten into them for years that they're no good, they're not worthy, everything is their fault, they can't do anything right. Where do they start picking themselves up and learning how to speak out and learning how to have that authentic confidence, or finding that authentic confidence?
Yeah, really, it's about fighting for yourself. So I always like to start also when I'm working with my clients, like my first, let's say, pillar is always to get calm. Because when you are in the state of calm, you can kind of declutter your mind and really fully get centered into yourself without kind of advices and shoots and cuts from the outside world. And this is connected with a lot of, if I just give the one word for it, for a lot of trauma, right? So whatever cases there might be, and we just keep to have it in our heads. But if we can start with, 5 or 10 minutes of really getting calm within the day, and this might look different for every person. Someone can meditate, someone can really be themselves with a really calm head while dancing or connecting with music. Someone can really find this approach in walk in the nature and using all the senses, or someone might really find it when cooking, because especially we women are really kind of special, some of us really within cooking or baking. So find some kind of a thing that makes you joy, that gives you calm, where you feel yourself, where you feel the brightest moment of yourself, and give yourself the space to have this moment, this activity for yourself, at least 5 to 10 minutes a day to get calm. And then step by step, listen what you feel from the inside, because we have the greatest wisdom inside, but many times we just shut it down because of the outside circumstances.
That is so true. We don't listen to our inner selves nearly often enough. And I like what you said about getting calm and listening, and just taking small steps. And I think that the healing journey for anybody needs to be small steps. I think it's, if we jump in, it's just too overwhelming and too much too soon.
Absolutely. Taking really baby steps, but it makes a huge difference. Every little step can lead to a giant leap at the end. And it's really nice to take just a baby step. And what I would like to really inspire is to also celebrate that little step. That's the way how we really stack on our experiences and our confidence in general, because we really appreciate how far we have come, and we celebrate a little win, whatever small win it is within the day. That's how we build upon our new, let's say, identity, that we can allow ourselves to stand up or to do something that we are proud of, and things like that.
Absolutely. Celebrate those small wins, the small successes. I'll use weight loss as an example. When people are losing weight, they come up with these, at the end of 20 pounds, at the end of 50 pounds, I'm going to reward myself with whatever. But what they don't do is celebrate each pound or every 5 pounds, that they have gotten rid of. They don't celebrate the change in energy that they feel, the way their skin looks, the way they're,
And 100% agree.
Yeah. So, celebrating those small wins, I think those are even bigger sometimes and more powerful.
Yeah. And it gives us actually the motivation to move forward, to follow through, to go after our vision, right? So it's many times in general, you mentioned this example of weight loss, but in general, if you realize how many times we postpone the joy of the moment in our lives just because, I will allow myself to go to that special dinner when I'll finish that presentation, when I will, get okay with my sister relationship, or whether I will help someone. Always there is something in a way, and we are just postponing our joy. We are postponing our celebration, and then of course we feel not worthy many times, or kind of under stress or under pressure, and not ourselves, and not confident at all. So these little celebrations gives us also the motivation and energy to move forward in an authentic way, and in an authentic, confident way.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing too is that we tend to set unrealistic goals, unrealistic expectations. And that's, for me, I've done it for years, setting unrealistic goals and unreal expectations. And that's just a form of self-sabotage. Subconsciously knowing I will never reach those goals in the time frame that I've set them. So, for example, let's say I'm going to lose 50 pounds in a month. That's unrealistic, and that's not going to happen. So I'm sabotaging myself before I even get started, and setting myself up for failure and for disappointment, as opposed to, making realistic goals and changes, like I'm going to drink more water, I'm going to exercise more, I'm going to do, eat better, and celebrating those wins every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
true.
Yeah, we set ourselves up for failure almost intentionally, subconsciously.
Yeah, that's many time the case that we just set ourselves such a vision that many times it's just not possible in that period of time. And this is many times, I guess it's the phrase from Tony Robbins, that we really overestimate ourselves what we can do within a year. Now this is in a year time frame, but we overly underestimate what we are capable to do in 10 years, right? So this might be like a little comparison to what you have said. So don't overestimate, and don't give yourself too higher of the goal for a little short of time, but really trust yourself within the longer period of time. But really, you need to have a plan. Somehow you need to go step by step and celebrate along the way. And also what is important also for confidence is to realize that it's absolutely okay to not know how, and not seeing the next step. Because many times, if you also realize, when you are willing to go for the 7th floor, let's say, and you are using the stairs, what you see basically is only first couple stairs. And that's okay, because you absolutely trust that there are next steps to get to the 7th floor. So you just need to trust yourself in there, and just always take the next step. And the next steps many times will just unfold and will be seen for you only once you step a couple of those steps first. So that's something to really think about, and just give yourself the trust to move forward.
Absolutely. It's it's like that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You
Absolutely.
have to you build your confidence one step at a time.
Yes.
So, Radka, one of the things I want to ask you about is that, you had talked about burnout, and you were at a point where you couldn't even care for your daughter. What are some of the things that you did to turn that around?
Well, what I remember as a real big breakthrough is just realizing that, okay, this is my time. I have to stand up. I literally just mentioned it, that it's about standing up.
Yeah.
It's about standing up for yourself. And for me, it was realization like, okay, stop looking for the outside world to come save you. Stop looking for outside people, what they will say, and whether that's okay to take the step for you and everything like that. And I just really stepped up for myself, because I fully realized that I'm the only one who can make a shift. And I'm the only one who needs to be fully responsible for my own well-being, because if you don't take care of your own well-being, someone else will, but in a way that it's not supporting you. So this was my big realization. And from that place, I just really took the very baby steps. It was for me, stand up, really stand up. And then the next step showed up that, okay, now suddenly I realized that, okay, I can make a call to try to ask how to reach for support in these terms, because I really needed to have a doctor or something. And, these kind of little steps that I just stood up and I just trusted myself that I will make it work, that I am here to make it work because I will stand up for myself. So I really just made a choice.
That's awesome. I like that. You just, you make that decision that this is what you're going to do. And that's it. You're just going to do it no matter what. Yeah. And the how will come to you. So I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me today. This has been awesome. And that, I love hearing about your story and talking about confidence, because I know as trauma survivors, that's something that we lack quite often. Yeah,
and we definitely need to build the confidence more with more trust and with more connection to our own bodies and our own minds, because many times we really lack this and we just follow through and trying to kind of push towards the confidence, but basically really the real confidence lies within. So try to turn inwards and then everything else will just look and act more easily. That's the last words. And thanks very much for having me here today.
Absolutely. How can our listeners find you online?
Well, the best way is my Facebook group, where I am showing up many times per week. And it's Spark Your Balance, from stressed to calm, confident, and free. So you're very welcome to join.
Fantastic. And listeners, I'll put all of Radka's links and everything in the show notes. If you're listening from one of our partner stations, just head over to releasingtraumapodcast.com and pull up Radka's show, and all her contact information, the link to her group, and everything will be there for you. So thank you again, Radka, for joining me today. And listeners, as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you in the next show.